Alright, so hey guys, we're here to give our feedback on what we think of Super Mario Odyssey so far. The game just released today. We're probably gonna be able to get this review out today, I would hope. Mm-hmm. But give me your thoughts on it so far. What do you think?
9 out of 10.
Well, that's a score. That's not what you think.
So I think 9 out of 10.
Well, why do you give it a 9 out of 10?
The graphics are fine, controls are fine, throw the hat, basically.
Well, yeah,
you throw the hat to take control of objects, use your the different forms to get over obstacles.
So you like the fact that Mario can possess things now to solve puzzles.
Are so far they've been super simple.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to get more complicated as we go along. We've only gotten up to, as far as this review goes, we've beaten 2 worlds at this point, so the kitty wants to do a review too.
Surprise guest kitty! Spooky!
But I'm sure the bosses will get more complicated as we go on. I mean, 2 worlds is still fairly early on though. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, the graphics in this are especially beautiful. They look impressive.
I like the hidden tropes too, like the T-Rex.
That was fun. Oh my god.
The T-Rex was really a hidden trope, but that was fun.
I don't think you'd have to have gotten him. You could have progressed forward without him. But stuff like that is a nice little touch. And all the things you've gotten to possess so far have been, realistically your standard kind of Mario stuff, all his enemies and whatnot. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to possess Koopas at some point too, maybe. I don't see why we wouldn't. But, so far it's been, Goombas, Bullet Bills. The T-Rex was the funniest one. That was completely random.
Yeah.
And the cat wants to get in the way of this.
I like the 2D flat wall, probably.
Oh, the combination between 2D and 3D is really good, and here, hold this cat.
I did. I didn't want to jump on
this is what happens here. We have unexpected cats who like climbing all over things. But yeah, my experience. Okay, your gameplay was different than mine too, because you got to play as the hat the whole time.
But the hat is kind of restricted to what it
is. That kind of is
when you're a 2-player, yes, they get detached from your head and then go back over, that's fine. My problem is, even though I am kind of free roaming, I am attached to a visible leech. I can't go as far as I want.
Pretty much. That is kind of a disappointment too. On the back of the case, plain as day, it does say, 2 players. I mean, yes, it does say, play as Cappy, which I had a feeling it'd be kind of a tether. I didn't think, I didn't know to the extent of it. At least you get to play and kill things. And basically it's a 2-player game for, if you want to play with someone who's not that good at games, you're just here, take control of this hat. There's no risk.
My movement was very linear, meaning, if you're on a block,
yeah, you can't
get up on the block.
You can't change altitudes from mine.
If you throw me from a block, I'm gonna be that high.
You're limited in that amount. So we have to be on the same plane for that to work, which is another.
The only thing that would be good for 2 players is if you're fighting bosses, because then.
Oh, that helps a lot during a boss battle.
But normal playing level, I didn't really do anything.
Not really. You got the occasional kill enemies and things of that nature.
Grab things from far away, collect the coins.
Yeah, you get to
skip jumping platforms because I can go.
You get to do some things that otherwise would have been risky for Mario to do on his own, like in the sewers, especially in that hidden area, trying to get some of those coins and whatnot that were in kind of a shit location.
Well, that's why I give it a 9 out of 10, because even though it's cool, you can play as Cappy, but Cappy's very restricted in what he can do.
Yeah, I would say. And let's talk about the story from what we've seen so far. I am sure it's the standard Mario story of Bowser kidnapping Peach, but it's actually done in a really creative and actually kind of funny way, too.
Peach looks so bored.
It's just she's used to it by now. But the fact that Bowser is going around collecting these items from around the world that tie to a wedding is actually pretty funny. The level we left off at was the forest where he got a ring.
Well, first he got the tiara.
Oh, there was a tiara.
Yeah, the sister that we're supposed to rescue.
That was from the ghost place.
Got the tiara, then he got the ring.
Which is hilarious.
Then
A giant bouquet of flowers.
No, he's after a bouquet. I'm wondering if there's gonna be cake.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Is there a cake level?
Well, there's a city level too. Like we found a hidden entrance to the level. Like we're not supposed to go there yet. Obviously, that's just a little tease. But based on the name, what was it, New Kong City or something like that?
City.
Like, okay, I know that's a play on the title of the movie New Jack City, which nobody is gonna know because that's.
Well, you said it could be a reference to Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
I think it might be towards King Kong.
It's a combination. It's a combination of those things. But if we see Donkey Kong in here, like in that kind of thing, like if he's there, that's gonna make that level even more awesome than it is. But that's like the one level I was the most curious about, just based on the based on the cover of the game and all that, because the prominent display picture of the game is Mario in New Kong City. Mm-hmm. And there's like a T-Rex roaring there too, so that's
the T-Rex is an object you can control.
But him in the city, that'd be amazing. Oh, it says New Donk City on here, because I'm looking at the case right now, which is a pretty cool...
Donkey Kong, I said New Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it's gotta be... Well, no, but New Donk City, so Donkey Kong. So I'm thinking, like I was thinking before, it's... But, like the pictures back here, show Mario in a variety of environments, variety of costumes, which is... I love that feature. Yeah. The fact that, okay, it's purely cosmetic at best. That's all that it is. It's purely cosmetic, but... Get assets from special amiibos. Okay, I'm really looking in depth at the back of this for the first time, and I'll probably throw a screenshot of this up there too. But it says get boosts from special amiibos, and it's showing Mario, Bowser, and Peach all in the wedding attire.
Oh dear.
Which is awesome. Like Mario's in a white tux, Peach is in a white dress, and Bowser somehow got into a white tux as well with I think he has a top hat on too, which is awesome. So I feel like that's probably going to be sort of towards the end of the game when something like that were to occur. Mm-hmm. But just the fact they're giving you variety, that's one thing. They're giving you plenty of that. The stages are, while you have to do multiple parts for each stage, it kind of flows.
It kind of gets redundant.
Well, that too, but they're taking the element from Mario 64 where you had to get multiple stars from every world, and it didn't flow as smoothly though, because when you collected a star off a mission, it ejected you from the painting, and then you had to go back in and start from the very beginning of the level, and you had to do that 6 times. Which is really, that gets tiresome. At least with this, we grabbed the first power thing, but then the level just expanded further, and we got to progress further into it.
Well, except for the frozen desert.
That was the biggest that was probably my biggest...
We first got it, but then it sent us all the way back to the beginning of the level, and
we defeated the boss atop the pyramid there. Yeah. And then, like you said, it threw us back to the very beginning of the level. That is my biggest pet peeve with the game so far. There was no reason for them to do that. They could have started... I thought at first they would start us, at the base of the pyramid, at the entrance to that underground dungeon thing. No, they started your ass all the way back.
Well, I think it's because it changed to night and the mummies come out of the sand, so they try to treat it as, a whole new level because there's mummies and roaming in the sand now. It roam too far. That was the only thing, was just mummies. Other than that, though, it was an unnecessary pain in the ass. That is my only real complaint with the game so far. That and the whole 2-player thing. Especially restricted 2-player play.
Yeah, they should say that on the back here. But like I said, it's handing 2-player to someone who you want to play games with, but really isn't that good at it. This way they can feel like they're...
It'd be fun to, for an adult and a child.
Yeah,
the child could be the hat.
This way the child's not restricted. The child won't have to die or anything, and the adult can have full control over, what's going on and all that. Mm-hmm. So that's... I hate
that Cappy can't jump.
Yeah, well, the cap can't really do much of anything. It can kill enemies, which is nice. I didn't think that would be a thing. But no, like you said, it's limited 2-player. My other biggest problem is the camera is sort of a mixed bag for me on this one. I like that you can reset its position, which is nice. but controlling it in 2-player mode is kind of a pain in the ass too. Because in one player mode, like, you have both, both joysticks, so simple enough to do and everything. But then in 2-player mode, since you don't have access to those joysticks anymore, they had to figure out a way to compensate for that. So you have to hold the Y button and move your joystick around. But the biggest problem for me in that regard is the fact that that button is right next to the hat throwing button, so I sometimes got those two mixed up. I mean, it's a minor nitpick. It's not, not a game breaker. There really hasn't been anything that's really broken the game so far. It's been fun. They do have they have you doing a bit of a collect-a-thon of things, but that gives it some replayability. The problem is for the most part, if they have you collect, like, all the power moons in the level before you go on to the next one, that's not really replayability. That's just sort of hindering you just a little bit.
Well, I don't think you have to collect all of them in each level. For us, we pretty much collected all of them.
Well,
but I think you have to collect a certain number.
Well, we collected all but one in the desert. Like, by the time we got to the end of the desert, we had all but one of them. That's how many more was needed to get the ship off the ground to go to the next area.
Well, the last one we had to buy.
Yeah, which was interesting to say the least. But at least it was with the coins we collected and not with the exclusive currency that was on that map, which I'm wondering if that's going to be a recurring theme or not. Mm-hmm. Where, like, some of the maps have their own, exclusive currency and whatnot. That's going to be... I don't know how I feel about that if it does it. Like, I'm indifferent both ways at this point. Because if you do have it, then it's a lot more currency you're going to have to collect. But if you don't have it, then why'd you introduce it to begin with? So they're gonna have to find a balance of that, which I hope they can do. And the level variety has actually been pretty good in of itself, and we didn't even spend that much time on each world too.
Yeah.
Because we played the game for roughly about 90 minutes or so, which I know that's not really in depth into this game, but we were just, I didn't want to get too far. I just wanted to, get a brief overview of it. Our views could change the further on we get, though, depending on how it goes.
Yeah.
Although, if there's the thing with the cake near the end, then if there's the thing with the cake, that's gonna boost this game up.
Well, if it's everything that has to do with the wedding, then I'm assuming there's gonna be a wedding cake at some point.
Oh, if it's like Mario RPG with a living wedding cake, that'd be funny. That would be amazing. That would be the greatest thing ever if we had a living wedding cake. If the wedding cake just comes alive and just starts attacking everything.
Yeah.
Between that, the potential for Donkey Kong, I'm pretty sure there's going to be more T-Rexes. There can't just be the one. Like, there's got to be more.
I think certain levels will probably have them, because you probably have to have them destroy the rocks and stuff. Too.
Well, remember, like I said, in the first world, we didn't need him. We progressed forward without him. Like, the chomps were fine enough to get through the wall there. But possessing the T-Rex was just a nice little... especially when it gets a mustache. Which is funny that... I like that touch, too, that all the enemies get, like, the little mustache and the Mario eyes and the Mario cap on their head. They could have been lazy with that, but they actually made it pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so far, I'm enjoying this game. Which, for a Mario game and a main Mario title, I haven't been able to say that for a while now.
Because it's like, we played the Mario trope so many times, like what they do with Breath of the Wild. We played linear Zelda games where it's like, go through these dungeons, collect this stuff, go get the boss, princess.
Okay, I've beaten countless Zelda games, but not once have I ever gotten, felt that it was the same thing. Like, I played
People gave it flack, especially IGN, because Zelda Breath of the Wild, when you first start, you might get the basics of the story, but since it is an open world, you are free to explore. There is no guiding lines to tell you, after this dungeon, you gotta go to this dungeon. It'll take you... You can play over 300 hours, and you still haven't discovered everything. You've probably not even progressed in the story yet.
But I'll definitely have more feedback on that once I actually play it, because I do want to play that game. I just know it's going to be a big-ass project.
They emphasized on free roaming exploration through Zelda, which a lot of people didn't like because they like their standard linear Zelda.
Ocarina, that's all I can say. Ocarina and Wind Waker, they both had those elements to a smaller degree in them, but they were there. Like, you just beat Ocarina, so you can see that you can explore the world.
Yeah, they also gave Zelda flack because armor crafting, item crafting, and it's
my god,
it's just the same, you know.
And then when Nintendo tries the same thing, you're gonna be tired of the same fucking thing, and that's what irks me. Like, this Mario game, another reason why I'm liking it is because
it's different.
While you're saving the princess, it doesn't feel stale. Because when I beat New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the DS, I was like, okay, it wasn't a bad or good game. It was just a Mario game. That's what I thought. That's my opinion. That's standard Mario Road, which is not good. Mario 64 was good in the fact that it was, you know, the first 3D game, but again, it's probably the same paint-by-numbers formula. Mario Sunshine, I know that game caught a lot of flack, but it was different. It was trying to do something different, you know. It's trying. Mario Galaxy I haven't played, but I heard is an amazing game. It's a shame the Wii U didn't get a definitive Mario title. And I mean, with this game, it is reminding me of Mario 64, where, you know, you do collect in this case, it's the moons, but in that game, it was the stars, and you needed so many to be able to progress forward. In that game, you needed 70 out of 120 to be able to you know, finish the game. And you get a reward for getting all of them. That's going to be the one thing I'm curious about with this game is, will they give you a reward for getting all of the Power Moons?
Probably, and there's probably going to be another reward if you get all the cosmetic stuff. Might be a trophy or something.
Well, Nintendo doesn't do achievements, so I don't know in that respect.
Well, there was achievements in here, because it's like...
Was there achievements?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because did I get achievements for Sonic Mania?
Yeah, and you also got...
Okay, so Nintendo's dipped their toes into that market, then.
I think it started with the Miiverse thing, where you can post your high school
which is coming down anyways. But, no, I mean, just as a completionist reward, though, they need to give you something. Because that motivates you even further to complete the game. Like, I won't mention a few of the other ones that I've gotten into. We'll definitely see those hopefully on the channel in the near future, but Mario 64, if you get all 120 stars, you actually get to you run into Yoshi, which, while not much, it's a nice little touch.
Yeah.
You get to meet Yoshi. He gives you 100 lives, like you need them at that point. And then you know, that's about it. Oh, and the penguin race you do, the penguin gets fatter for some reason. There is no reason for that, but again, they're trying to give you stuff, which...
Well, like, with Mario Odyssey, the story's the same.
Bowser's kidnapping Peach.
Princess Peach to marry. It's the same story we did too. The only difference is, like, it's not his sons that are the minions now, it's...
A bunch of rabbits.
It's the Broodals, which to me, I think it's like bunny poodles.
They're bunnies.
It's like a made-up furry character.
But yeah, Bowser's kidnapping Peach, though, but in the other games... Does he try and marry her, or does he just capture her?
Well, at some points he does try to capture her. I think at the
he
he
always tries to capture her. But this, I think, is the first time I can recall.
I guess if he marries, technically, then I guess he takes over the kingdom that way.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
But instead of the same, you're also saving another character, which is the Hat's little sister.
You're saving the Hat's. You're saving the Hat's kingdom.
I see a giant eagle on this case, which I'm curious.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
There's a giant eagle.
See, that's the other thing, is that there's still a lot of stuff for us to explore in this game, and we don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I like. We don't know what's...
I want to have... I want to see more cameos and more little hidden tropes to other things.
Or even some of the bosses who weren't the rabbits, they were actually, well, the desert one was sort of meh.
Yeah.
But the one before that in the jungle area, that was actually pretty funny. The spoiled rich woman with the gold chain chomp on the chain, that was hilarious.
I use it to whack her in the face with it.
That was one of the funniest things. That was okay, and that was the other thing. I was having problems with possessing the chain chomps, though, because If they get hit, then you get knocked out of them, which...
Well, you have to knock the hat off, so Cappy can be the hat.
No, but I meant when I was just possessing the regular chain chomps trying to get through the level, if they get hit, then, you get knocked out of the... Out of the chain chomp, which is kind of an annoyance when you're trying to set up a shot to be able to get somewhere. Because some of those shots you did really have to line up. Again, it's not a game-breaking thing. It's a minor annoyance. I'm gonna pick apart these little things because I do pick up on them. Yeah. 25 years of playing games, you're bound to see something. But
as I said, I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10 like everybody else. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
because of the limited 2-player co-op.
Yeah, that's kind of the most.
We are straying away from 2-player games.
That's kind of what this game is for the most part. Is It's not hard. The only times I've died are just falling into, except for the one boss fight, but that's just because trying to get away from him was kind of a pain. And I think I was on an ice floor too, so that kind of hindered me a little. See, this is one of those games where you can run around all willy-nilly, pretty much devil may care for an extent. When you get into, like the secret tunnel or anything like that, or where the jumps are tricky, you're gonna have to be careful. So they've kind of got a bit of a balance going on there.
They have to have a learning curve in there.
Definitely. The tutorial was okay.
You got your generic. Here's your controls. This is what you can do with them. Here you go.
Well, they introduced a lot, and they didn't even introduce everything you can do either, which is cool.
Yeah.
But so they're introducing us, and they're doing it in cutscenes between levels, which
I find kind of funny because it's like
he has a travel.
Well, inside the hat ship, it's like this Victorian, style furniture, and it's like you have like the big Victorian.
We're going on like safari or something.
Like recliner chairs, and there's a fireplace, and we have there's coffee, there's postcards, and then I like how we have the standard brochures that you get at like any tourist center.
Pretty much, we're going on tour here.
But I thought it was kind of cute with the big chairs and the coffee. I'm like, all we need is top hats and monocles to make it classy.
Which I'm sure we'll get a top hat later on.
That'd be funny because it's like we're having a tea or coffee. Your pick. I say coffee because I like coffee. Well,
but on the back of this, Mario is wearing a top hat, so I'm sure we'll see a top hat at some point.
I just found that funny.
He's actually wearing like a fancy black suit and a black top hat, which is nice.
I just want to see where the giant eagle comes to play because I see that.
Where's the on the front?
Yeah.
Where's the? Oh, it's up there. So that's going to probably be on a later level too. Like they're showing like a lot of stuff here that you'll potentially get into. I'm pretty sure the city's going to play a big part in it since it's so prominent on the cover.
It's probably going to be one of the biggest levels. Probably.
I would think based upon I would think so.
We're not even there yet.
No, we got
I'm assuming that's probably where you're going to get the wedding dress.
That would make sense.
Because I wonder, why Princess Peach wasn't already dressed. Because Bowser's already dressed. Why it wasn't Peach? I'm like, oh yeah, because
he has to go get all the parts,
which I'm saying. So
which is hilarious.
I'm predicting there's going to be a cake, and there's going to be a dress.
Cake, a dress. There's the ring so far. There's going to be flowers coming up. So there's parts to the wedding, which
I wonder if they're going to actually kidnap a priest.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
I wonder if he's going to be a priest, probably.
But that also makes the adventure even more than just your San Mario game, because you never know what the hell Bowser's going to get next. Because in this case, in the old games, it's your princess is in another castle. In this, it's your princess is still on that ship. They just got a few new items for whatever the hell they're planning. So, I'm pretty sure it's going to be, the same global hopping, the same world hopping thing of, we're not going to catch up to the princess, it's going to seem like we are. We're going to get there too little too late, and Bowser's going to have another piece to his giant, grandiose wedding puzzle, which I can't wait to see the complete set, because that's going to be funny as hell.
I want to fight a giant cake.
Oh, that'd be amazing if they brought back a giant wedding cake fight. We haven't seen that in 21 years, which is amazing.
It's a cake.
Yeah, if you guys want to see a giant wedding cake fight, though, go to what was it, Part 9 of Super Mario RPG, where you fight the wedding cake and
in our videos, Liz. It's hilarious.
I know that's an amazing fight. Like, it's great. That's my favorite part of that game, and that might be my favorite.
The oblivious chefs and the giant monster cake.
That would be my favorite part of this game, possibly if they bring it in too. Depends on how they pull it off, but we'll see. But Okay, so the final verdict though is you gave this game you gave it a 9. Like, we didn't even. The music's actually pretty good too.
Because everyone else like 10 out of 10. Oh, controls are great, graphics are great.
Yeah.
Gameplay's great.
You guys have only been playing single player campaign.
Like, everything's great, and I'm like, yeah,
no, but
great,
I
don't like my hands tied 2-player.
Yeah, and that's the standard thing everybody's saying too. Oh, it's like one of the greatest games ever made.
It's not even that bad.
It's a fun game. I'm enjoying it.
I'm not saying like, don't play this game. 2-player sucks.
Yeah,
I'm saying it's limited 2-player. That's kind of
the 2-player is kind of limited.
It's still fun.
But it also does help in being able to take out the enemies and all that, and not have to worry as much. So it's a mixed bag with 2-player. The fact that they have it is not a bad touch. I wish they'd have you playing as Luigi, maybe. That would have been fun.
Oh, maybe he's in here somewhere.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. We haven't seen him yet, but
maybe there's like a Luigi's Mansion level.
Oh, that'd be great. You never know with all the... There's usually
Like I said, I was like, I want to see cameos from, like, you know...
There's usually a haunted house level in games, too, but...
I see a Koopa shop.
Yeah, I know, we saw that. So there's gonna be levels that weren't really in Mario games, like New Kong City, or the chef level, or even that junglescape. That doesn't seem like it was in any games. The desert is a standard Mario trope. It's in every Mario game, it seems like. That we're gonna have our obligatory underwater world. It's not even a stage. It's the entire frickin' world.
Yes.
Problem there is Mario can drown, so... Yeah, this is one of those games where Mario can... The 3D titles, Mario can drown. So, the one thing... Oh, we didn't even think about that. The one thing I hope comes along. I don't know if they'll do it or not. I hope to death it does. I want Yoshi in my game.
Oh, yeah. I thought the T-Rex was like, oh, it's Yoshi.
Oh, that'd be funny. But no... And we're basing all these things that we're talking about on what we've seen so far and what's potentially to come. We don't know what's to come. We haven't done any research into this, which I think makes for a I like that kind of blind experience, because you never... I always love that, because you never know what's going to come next.
Yes.
But, I mean, so far the graphics are just fucking gorgeous. The graphics are gorgeous. All the models, the characters, everything.
Enemies are funny.
And between the 2D and 3D, it's a nice variety. The controls are fine. The controls are they're fine for what they're worth. You get a good you get good control over the camera. It's not hard to control the hat. Hell, the hat can move on its own and not have to worry about dying. So that's actually really helpful. Then what else? The story especially, it's once again your standard story, but it's
cookie cutter, just with some side parts in it.
Just with some hilarity to it.
Yeah.
They're using a different cutter mold for this one, which is great. So, because Bowser's always going to try and kidnap Peach, it's just a matter of how they make it work. Because Paper Mario was the same way. Bowser kidnaps Peach, and you have to rescue her, but the whole story around it was actually really, really good, and that's a game we need to play at some point. But this game, the story's funny, and the fact that he has new minions, people may or may not like as much. I'm either way on it. Like having the Koopa, having the Koopalings would have been funny, but then having these, I
just like it's not Bowser's sons, although they could still be in here somewhere.
Oh, you mean Bowser Jr. or the Koopalings?
Bowser Jr.
Oh, yeah, let's not. Oh, that'd be disappointing. Because we've seen him, like, a little too much, I think. If you're going to have anybody from the other games assisting him, have it be the Koopalings.
I still say Brutal is like a made-up bird character. I'm a bunny poodle.
Which is funny that he actually has new minions kind of helping him. It almost ties into the Rabbids game.
Yeah, I was like, was it Mario with Rabbids lately?
I don't know, but it's actually a worthwhile crossover. But
Mario loves bunnies.
Other than the few little nitpicking bad things we pointed out about this game, and not every game is perfect.
That's just it. I hate everybody giving me like, oh, it's perfect. Everything's perfect.
Because
everything's great. I have a whole bunch of crack and pixie sticks in it. Everything's great.
No, this game, it's not a perfect 10. There are faults with it. if those other people were only playing the single-player campaign, then that's, you know, that's kind of what they're getting. That's why the controls are fine for them, because, you know, they're not trying to do this co-op. Like, I played the single-player thing. The single-player campaign there was actually, it was fine. I had full range, full controls. You know, I didn't have a problem. But if you're playing this on co-op, like, sure, it's not like the old days where you have to really work together, per se. You still kind of do, but for all intents and purposes, Player 1 is more in control.
Yes,
Player 2 is kind of tethered. It's kind of like a few other games we've played in the past that we won't go into now, but I mean, the focus should be on Mario. He is kind of the character here. Like, the hat is secondary, but
everything's tethered.
Just the fact that they let you play as the hat, though, like, they didn't even have to do that much.
Yeah.
So, I didn't even know it was gonna... When we picked it up from the store, that was the first time I'd ever heard this game was co-op. And that blew my mind, which is great.
The guy's like, oh, you're gonna play 2-player? Like, wait, there's 2-player?
Like, what? And then he flipped it over, bam, 2-player.
Bam, 2-player! Like,
which is... Didn't know that. That's funny as hell. Like, and I wouldn't have expected that, because at first you're like, who the hell...
It was like the Triforce Space are just gonna hell it up.
It's like, who the hell's Player 2 gonna play as, though? He's gonna play as the hat on your head.
We're like, what? Okay.
Which... The hat being removed from Mario's head back in the... Sorry. But the hat being removed from his head back in the day used to not be a commonplace thing, but now it seems to be.
It's cute, but...
Yeah, it's funny.
I don't like them, you know, I don't like them being tears.
Yeah. But anyways, you gave it a 9. I would say that's a fair thing.
I'm not gonna add decimal points to this, and I'm gonna be like,
I was
9.5.
Well, I was gonna be like, oh, it's an 8.5, but you know what? Yeah, I have no reason not to go to not give it that rating too, because
everything's fine so far, except for, you know, limited 2-player co-op.
Yeah, but it's a quality game. It's Nintendo coming back into the fold. It's definitely one of those games that, if there's one reason for you to buy a Switch, this might possibly be it. If people were on the fence about the Switch before, this kind of pushes you over. It pushes you over the top. Because between this and Breath of the Wild alone,
oh yeah,
those are two amazing games. But this helped push it over the top, because Breath of the Wild really got you there. This just continues. And if they were to put this much investment, momentum, time, production, all of that into the Nintendo Switch like they did with these two games, and like they're doing with with a few of the other titles, the Switch could be the system that wins out this generation. It could be that console, because this is actually a really fun game. It's one of those it's a game where I don't know where it's going to go from here, but I can't wait to see where it's going to go. Because that's the thing with past Mario games, is you kind of knew where it was going to end up.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to go through your obligatory worlds, you know, it's pretty much paint by numbers in the old games. This flipped it on its fucking head. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy that Nintendo finally flipped the script on us and made a really, really damn good Mario game. Here's the thing, though. There was no fucking reason for this not to have been on the Wii U in its lifetime.
No, it's just that they're closing the Wii shop, so...
That's true, but there is
Give it another year, the Wii U shop will probably be...
No, but there is no reason that this should not have been on that console, because the Wii U could have handled it.
And they want to push their Switch, which I'm fine with that, because...
That's true.
They're trying to get indie developers now to make indie games for the Switch, so...
But they need
indie
to...
games are a mixed basket of chocolate.
They need to make more games like this. If they make a quality Metroid game next, and maybe... I doubt Kid Icarus is ever going to come back, because we've only done 2 games for that in 30 fucking years. But if we do another Metroid game, and a good Metroid game, not the shit that other M was, but if we and I haven't even beaten that yet, and I'm scared to. But if we bring back another quality Metroid game, I don't think we're gonna get a Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
Because we kind of got a rehash of 8. But if we do more quality games for this console, like with Mario Odyssey and with Breath of the Wild, this is the system to beat. This could be the... Because they already got a jump on their competition for being in the next gen. Because we know that the Scorpio is going to be next, but I doubt it's going to really go anywhere. But no, overall, yeah, we give this game a 9 out of 10 because it's, you know, it's there. Just the little tiny faults keep it from being perfect. These are the things that people need to notice. Like, oh, it's a perfect game. You're clearly not noticing the tiny little subtleties that you know.
It's still fun.
Because no game, I don't think there's any game.
No game is without, you know.
Yeah, I don't think there's any game on the planet that's perfect.
You know.
Even my favorite game has faults, which I'll go into another time. But no game is perfect. But this game is pretty damn close to it.
That's fun. Possibly
the best Mario title, sadly, that other than... I haven't played Galaxy, but... So, this millennium, this might... Depending on how this game goes, this might actually be the best Mario title I've played this millennium.
As I said, like, I suggest this one over the Rabbids one.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're still going to play it, and we're still going to try it out and see.
If you want to play it, it's fine, but, like, I recommend the Odyssey.
Yeah, this is definitely...
If you had to choose between one or the other.
This is the game to get for the Switch. Yeah. This and Breath of the Wild. But
maybe in Bomberman 64, if you like.
You mean Super Bomberman R. Not 64. Hell no.
Sorry.
Don't give them that level of frustration. Not yet. But we give this game both of us a solid 9 out of 10. It honestly could go higher depending on where the story goes.
Yeah.
Because if the story gets better and there's more hilarity and hijinks,
that's what I'm wondering.
Because I mean, I bumped up my WWE rating to a B from a C because the story was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But we'll see where this goes. But like I said, 9 out of 10 from both of us. Highly, highly, highly recommended. I'm enjoying this so far. This is a game that I want to continue. But I want to continue, like, it's all going to be recording because I want to organically, you know, show my reaction, our reaction to what's going to happen. Because that's how it's been so far. I mean, we'll have an initial kind of playthrough footage thing coming up. I think that'll be... I'll probably upload that shortly after I upload this video. Maybe about an hour, a half hour between them. There's no reason to really space it out that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll you know, give this review, give our initial look at the game. But overall, it's highly recommended from me. From you, is it highly recommended?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It's a game that we both recommend. We both give 9s, solid 9s, because when she gave her review, you know, score, I was thinking in my head, like, what should I give this? But there was no reason for me to not go with the same. Yeah, there was no reason for me to not, you know, give the same point value as you did on this, because I felt the same way. Like, it's a good game with a few faults, but it's still a good game. Highly recommended.
I mean, the faults aren't going to demean from the gameplay at all, but...
Yeah, not at all. Highly recommended. Go out and buy a Switch if you haven't already, if the stores actually have them in stock finally, because it was a pain in the ass getting this thing.
Well, now I think they're ready, like, because they do have the Mario Odyssey bundle at GameStop.
Oh, then there's no reason.
You get the special Switch, and you get the...
There's no reason for it. There's no reason for them not to go get this,
like,
then.
You know, it's like...
Like, if
I think it's like 400 or something.
That's actually not terrible.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know how much the console itself would go for.
At GameStop, if you buy the pre-owned console, if you buy a pre-owned Switch, then you get, I think, 3 games under $10. It won't count for the Switch.
Are there... Wait, you said if you buy a used Switch, though, right?
If you buy a pre-owned console, then you get 3 games.
There aren't even 3 games on the Switch that are under $10.
Probably,
no.
Maybe in the digital, like... digital indie game, but
because the only things left physically that we haven't bought her has been Heroes and.
Well, if you don't already have a Switch, then I suggest getting the Odyssey bundle.
Buy that bundle and then go buy Breath of the Wild with it. But
you can buy it later. But
yeah, but there is no reason to not they have this bundled for you. They knew it was going to be the thing. There's no reason to not go get this.
Next one on the Switch is going to be Sonic.
Oh, that'll be fun. We'll definitely talk about that when it rolls around. But this is a reason to go buy a Switch right now. It's for this game. Like, I can't say enough good things about it.
My friends are asking me, should I go out and get a Switch? I'm like, if you like Zelda and you want Breath of the Wild, then fine.
Breath of the Wild and this game, like those
are the only games I would ever recommend you ever getting a Switch for.
And we don't know how long this game's going to be either. It's a Mario game, so maybe not terribly long, but. Because, I mean, we finished 2 worlds in an hour and a half, so I didn't know how far we'd get either, because I wanted to do a few hours, but, I didn't want to go too deep into the game just yet.
Yeah.
Because we got what we needed from those 2 worlds. I'm sure we'll get more later, but we got what we needed. But no, like I keep saying, highly recommended from both of us. Go get the Switch, go get this game, have fun with it. Enjoy. This is an amazing game, and I can't wait to continue it.